Welcome back to the channel, and today is part 2 of my favorite movies of all time. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure to check that one out first, and again, there will be spoilers ahead for these movies. Without further ado, let's get into it. At number 5, I have the most recent watch on this list, Heat. I saw this movie about a month ago, and it absolutely blew my mind. One of the things I was so impressed about in this movie is the pacing. This movie is 2 hours and 50 minutes long, and somehow it actually kept me hooked and interested the entire time. This is for me both the best action film and the best crime film I have ever seen before. What I loved most about this movie is the acting, performance, and character of Al Pacino and De Niro's characters. You see these two men who in their respective worlds are complete rivals towards one another, but as they go, they gain this respect and this appreciation for one another, which makes the movie so much better. It has one of the most beautiful endings I've ever seen in a film, where after this long shootout, De Niro finally just accepts his death. And even though Al Pacino's been hunting him for so long, he holds his hand while he dies. And it's so amazing. This movie has 3 of the highest peaks I've ever seen before, being the diner scene where they talk to each other, the shootout scene, just amazing action, and of course the final chase scene. Overall, this movie is such a masterpiece, and that's why it's in the top 5. At number 4, I have what may surprise a lot of you, but it's The Truman Show. I saw this movie about 2 years ago for the first time, and I think to date, it has the most unique and incredible concept I've ever seen for a movie. It's such a fresh take, and it's so definitely ahead of its time for when it came out. I, of course, have to talk about one of the greatest performances I've ever seen on screen, which is from Jim Carrey. He's one of the greatest actors of all time, and from what I've seen, this is absolutely his best work. He perfectly captures Truman's journey from innocence to this silent knowing and understanding. I also have to say, this movie, in my opinion, is the greatest ending in cinema history and has the greatest ending line in movie history. So overall, one of the greatest movies ever made. And I have to tell you, watch it if you haven't. Now that we enter the top 3, I have one of the best sci-fi films ever made, Blade Runner 2049. This is one of the best times I've ever seen a movie truly capture and completely stick to its theme. Blade Runner has one of the most beautiful and life-changing messages I've ever seen in any film, with the main part encapsulating what does it mean to be alive. Ryan Gosling is one of my favorite actors, and he absolutely gives it his all in this movie, alongside the amazing performance from Harrison Ford. This is another super long movie that kept me completely hooked and interested the entire time. There's so many amazing and beautiful moments in this movie, but the absolute best has to be the ending, where we see Kay save Rick, take him to see his daughter finally after all this time, and then die completely accepting his death and being happy and feeling successful with what he did. It's just such an incredible scene, especially with the amazing backdrop of the snow falling. I know that there's a lot of you who have not seen this movie before. I seriously urge you, watch it because it's absolutely life-changing. The runner-up in my number 2 movie of all time, I have Interstellar. This is, in my opinion, both the greatest sci-fi movie and Christopher Nolan movie of all time. Everything in this movie is just at an absolute high. The acting from all the characters is so incredible. The cinematography is out of this world. And the CGI and special effects are absolutely breathtaking. But one of the most underrated parts and one of my favorite parts of this movie has to be the score and soundtrack. The music in this movie is absolutely Hans Zimmer's magnum opus, as it's, in my opinion, the greatest movie soundtrack of all time. I've always loved space, and it's actually something I want to do as a career. So seeing this absolutely amazing and fresh take on space, as well as seeing the journey of the characters through all these places, had to cement this movie as one of my favorites. The absolute best part of this movie, for me, is the relationship between Cooper and Murph. This is the core of the movie, and is so heartbreaking but amazing to watch the whole time. I have, to this day, never cried to a movie before. But this is one of the few movies that actually got me close, because it's so good. Finally, we're at number 1. And what is, in my opinion, the greatest movie of all time is The Shawshank Redemption. Growing up, I heard a lot about this movie. It was my dad's favorite movie, it was my mom's favorite movie, and it's a lot of my extended family's favorite movie. It was on my watch list for a very long time, so when I finally watched it, I really understood the hype. This is genuinely the most incredible and beautiful film I've ever seen. I'm not even kidding. After I finished the movie, I couldn't stop smiling for about 15 minutes. Everything about it is so perfect. Every dialogue is made so well and quotable. The soundtrack and cinematography is so beautiful, and the acting is awesome. But what single-handedly makes this film the greatest of all time is the character work. The film makes you care so much about every character we see, and hate every antagonist throughout the movie. Everyone from Red and Andy to even people like Tommy and Brooks, they're so brilliantly written. And in my opinion, it has the greatest movie scene of all time, which is Andy's escape. So in the end, all these factors make The Shawshank Redemption, in my opinion, the greatest film in all of cinema history. But there you go. That's my top 10 list of the greatest movies of all time. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinion. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you want to, and then have a great day.